Thank you for watching the Electronic Playground podcast. I have Nicky Davis here. Her and her husband own Wing Zone here in Yuba City, California. So I'm super excited. She came here straight from work because she is a hardcore entrepreneur. And I just wanted you guys to get to know her because she's so much fun and has so much going on. So, Nicky, tell me a little bit about your journey with in our community. Let's just start there.
So I'll just give you a little brief. Jim and I are from the Bay Area. We moved up here. We were in the electronics industry of all things. So we sold parts like for high-tech companies. Apple, HP were some of the customers that we had in the beginning of our career. And Jim's mom passed away at a very young age. And Jim came home one day and said that he no longer wanted to work in the real world. He was going to do tournament bass fishing. Oh. So he didn't even know. So he quit his job. He quit a very good job to do tournament bass fishing. He spent a lot of time in Clear Lake, in Oroville, in that area. So he came home one day and had a friend that lived in Plumas Lake, and we were going to go have lunch with Chad in Plumas Lake. And we went and had lunch with Chad in Plumas Lake and bought a house.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly, because you know, what do you buy at lunch but a house, right? But at the time, we were looking for a bigger place in the Bay Area. Real estate was crazy, and we decided we'd buy a house up here, and he could stay up here. We'd be close to the lake. It was close to Oroville, so that is how we moved up here. It's been 22 years ago. Wow. And then shortly after we bought the house in Plumas Lake, the company that I worked for was changing job descriptions, so I was able to transfer up to this area, and we sold the house in the Bay and moved up here full time.
Oh, very cool.
My son changed schools, went to school in Wheatland, so that is how we made the transition to the Bay Area.
Okay.
From here to from the Bay Area to here, and then once we got up here, I worked for the company for about 2 years, and then we were acquired by another company, and they laid off the sales force. Oh. So I spent a year traveling with Jim all around the country doing the tournament bass fishing with him. So I have been to all kinds of crazy random places all over the U.S., stayed in some random places in the U.S. I've stayed in a tough shed in Texas, because who can say that, right? So that... Then I decided one day, I was at a quilt show. Jim was fishing a tournament in Reading, and we had gone to I had gone to a show with a friend of his wife, and they had what was a long arm. And I came home and I told Jim, if you win this tournament, I want to buy a long arm, because I want to quilt, because that's my passion. I quilt. So he said, yeah, sure, if I win the tournament, you can have a long arm. Well, he did. So.
Wow.
Yeah, he wasn't expecting to win a tournament because he wasn't expecting to buy a long arm. So I don't think he was really on board with it, but you said what you said, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
So then we bought a long arm, and I was quilting in the house in Plumas Lake for a while. And if you know anything about the quilting industry, if you have a long arm, clearly what you needed to go with your long arm is a quilt store.
Oh.
So,
of course.
Right? Because who doesn't have one of those to go? I mean, it makes perfect sense, right?
Accessory add-on.
Exactly.
Okay.
I'm just going to buy this because I need this too.
Yeah.
So that was kind of, so I went into the so-so shop one day and had a conversation with the ladies at the so-so shop, and I came home and I told Jim, I said, I'm going to buy the so-so shop. And he said, that's crazy because you hate the so-so shop. I said, I know, that's why we're going to buy it, because it's horrible and we'll make it so much better. And he said, absolutely not. So that was a big no-no. So I went to a guild meeting, had a conversation with some of the guild members, and they were like, oh, if the so-so shop was better, we'd shop there. So I kept coming home with the idea, and then he was like, you know what, let's have a conversation with them. So before I knew it, we were buying the so-so shop, which was on D Street for 47 years, wow. I think, or something. So long history. We bought the so-so shop and moved it to Yuba City, and then went from there. Started selling long arms from the so-so shop. First we had fabric, and we were a full-fledged quilt store, and then it went to just long arm sales. And with COVID changed everybody's world. Oh. And as a small business owner, it was difficult. I mean, we were deemed non-essential, state of California, You don't get to go to work if you're not that we didn't work a little bit, but
quilts aren't essential?
Quilts are not essential.
What?
I know, quilting is not an essential industry. Not everybody needs a long arm. I think they do. I mean, let's be honest. Why would you not want a long arm?
So your business was not COVID proof.
It was not COVID proof, which is ironic because it's not COVID proof as it was. It was the best year we've ever had selling long arms because everybody was stuck at home. You couldn't go to Hawaii, but you could buy a long arm.
Yeah.
You couldn't go to Mexico, but you could buy a long arm.
So it was actually or a long arm.
Exactly. So it was really good for that. But we started looking at that. We started looking at retirement. We sell. For a manufacturer, we don't manufacture the long arm that we sell. So that made a whole different, how do you retire from a company that you don't own? So, and a small business owner, I mean, you got to worry about that, right? How am I going to retire from this?
Right.
So we started looking at things as we were home with COVID. We were looking at things that were good, right? I mean, we're sitting home and you were in Yuba City during COVID.
Yeah.
What was popular?
Food.
Food.
I didn't know the answer to that, but it was food.
Food. The two most popular places were Home Depot and every restaurant in town, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't get into a restaurant. I mean, literally.
Yeah.
So we thought, well, seems like a good idea. Food. Everybody eats. I have a son that is a culinary school graduate.
Okay.
And I have a son-in-law that's a culinary school graduate. So does it get any better than that?
No.
Started looking around for what you like and what we felt was missing. We started with the idea of a sandwich shop and then looked around Yuba City and saw there were a million different sandwich shops, so probably not the best bet. We went and we picked up my favorite food, which is wings, and not to say, but brought home wings, and I complained yet again about how much I don't like these wings. So that's kind of what happened.
Yeah. So you were like, hey,
I like
wings.
Get
some good wings.
Yes.
And you love wings, couldn't find them yourself, and you thought, you know what, let's open up something with wings. So where was the transition? Because you could have started your own, but you actually bought into a franchise.
Yes.
So tell me the thought process behind that.
So as a business owner, the thought process behind that was simply with the So-So shop, we are responsible for everything. We do all of our own marketing, every idea that comes, everything is organic, homegrown, everything comes from us. And you are responsible for everything. So when we started looking into opening a restaurant or opening a business or doing something else like that, the franchise became very popular because it comes with instructions, it comes with a manual. Every single thing in that building has a job description to it. It's got a cute little poster that hangs on a board that says, this is how you mop a floor. This is how you clean the bathroom. So you looked at that and you thought, well, this is going to be a really great idea because guidelines, instructions, how to do it. So that's where the idea of the franchise came in.
So is it pretty much turnkey, or did you still have to find your location and build it out?
We had to find a location. We had to build it out. We still went through the entire process. And looking back, we bought into a very small franchise. So a lot of the stuff that the franchise would normally do, we have done by ourselves and continue to do by ourselves. So if I was doing it again, I probably wouldn't do the franchise. I'd probably do it on my own. But it's a learning experience. It's like anything else. I mean, you go out and you start looking at real estate, and you have a real estate person that you look at real estate with, and you're trying to pick the best spot, the best location for your restaurant. Right. And we picked what I thought was the best spot in Yuba City. If I could turn back time, I definitely would not have picked the location that we picked.
Okay.
We are in the Bel Air Shopping Center, so we're right next to Bel Air. When you do a business like that, they talk about anchor stores, which are your big box stores that are in the same location that draw people in. We picked an anchor store location that has the two most expensive stores in Yuba City. The Grange. You can go to Home Depot or Lowe's. So they're high-end, more specialty, more of a boutique. And then you have Bel Air, which is the most expensive grocery shopping in Yuba City.
Gotcha.
So you've limited yourself to a certain group of people. So if you're looking for foot traffic, which obviously everybody as a business is looking for foot traffic, you have pigeonholed yourself into a location that has only one group of people.
Okay.
I would have looked more generic, more, I mean, we looked at like off of 99, I just didn't love the parking lot. I mean, everything came with different stuff.
Right.
You know how it is. I mean,
There's not that one perfect thing.
You're
That's
looking
like,
for this
check mark for
aha
everything.
moment. There isn't an aha moment. So,
So you're like,
whatever. So, you know, I live around the corner from Bel Air. How could that be wrong? I can walk to work.
Well, that's a nice perk.
Yes, it is. It really is, because I literally live around the corner. I'm less than half a mile away. But, you know, looking back, I mean, that's something that when you buy into the franchise, that is something that they are supposed to help with.
Right.
And not being a big franchise that had all of the stuff, they weren't versed in that. And we didn't know any better. So we went with what we thought was great and wasn't so great.
Yeah.
Wasn't the home run that I had hoped it would be.
Yeah, it's maybe not the home run, but let's not discredit all the things that you guys have done and all the success that you guys have had along the way. Because I've been in there multiple times with tons of people in there ordering food. You guys have your regular customers that absolutely love you.
Yes, we do.
You have
Gary. Hi, Gary.
You have converted people from Kiki's and from other wing places to come eat your food instead. And because your food is really good. It's very, very large portions. You get your mac and cheese, you get your bomber fries. My kids love it. They're hard to please. They're trendy. They want what Instagram is showing them. They want TikTok things, right? Well, you're on Instagram and TikTok too. And then they saw the ranch drizzling across your bomber fries. I want that, right? So you guys have had a lot of success. You guys have implemented new recipes into your place that people love. You've thrown in the wrap. You've thrown in the extra cheese and the things that people want, that they come in and say, hey, you know what? I'd like to see this or that. And you're like, okay, let's make it happen.
And that's the fun part. I mean, that's my favorite part of the business side. I love the customers, the regulars, the people that come in, and I love the creative, because the franchise, like we talked about, it comes with instructions. Because we're so small on that scale, we're kind of invisible. They kind of don't, I mean, I don't want to say they don't care what we do, because that sounds horrible, but they kind of don't. So like you said, the bomber fries, I mean, that was all honestly, that came from the kids at the restaurant eating them that way.
Yeah.
We saw our employees, we saw them, we watched them. I mean, the kids were like loving it. It was like the greatest idea ever. And what they did, they were chopping up the chicken and throwing it. So we were like, oh, how do we capitalize on this? Because how do you make this part of the menu? What do you do to, I mean, so a lot of what we do, from the recipes, the flavors that we come up with, to the different stuff that goes on the menu, it's just random stuff that we're back there eating in the kitchen.
Well, it's like when you go to a Mexican restaurant, right? You're like, am I getting the taco or the burrito or the taco salad? It's literally all the same thing.
Yes.
It's just in the presentation, how you're building it, right?
Yes.
So you have your chicken, you got your fries, you got your tater tots. So you can take that along with your mac and cheese and all the different sauces you offer, different seasonings, and then throw together whole different entrees and meals.
Exactly. And which is, because we've got some more, we're going to make some more changes too, so that you can, we're going to expand on the fries. Yeah. So I like different stuff on it. So we're going to add different stuff to it.
That's so cool.
So that's kind of exciting, kind of different, right? It gives you the opportunity to experiment with stuff that you would normally do. If we were a big franchise, it wouldn't be allowed, and it wouldn't be acceptable. So the fact that we're not.
Did you ever see the movie The Founder?
No.
Oh, it's about the McDonald's story.
Okay.
And it's so funny because there's this part in the movie where they talk about trying to expand on their own before they did the franchise thing, right? And he said, you know, we opened a location in Sacramento, and he's all, they were selling burritos.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's me.
There's a reason for the rules when it comes to a franchise, because they want the consistency across the board.
Yes.
If you go to Wing Zone here, they want it to be the same as the Wing Zone somewhere else,
100%.
Right? So that makes sense. Now, something that's unique about you in particular, like on top of being a franchise owner, you and Jim run this business together.
Yes. Yes, we do.
That comes with its own set of challenges, right?
Yes. Yes, it does. It does.
You two have been a couple for a very long time.
Yes.
So
we have two businesses, not one, but two businesses.
Two businesses.
Yes.
And you two are with each other almost 24/7.
24/7.
So, do you have heads butting?
So, gosh. Yes. Yes, we do. So one of my favorite stories, the first quilt show that Jim and I ever did, we had a fight so bad that we made one of our employees cry. Not because of anything that was said or anything that transpired, just because it was like the first time you ever see your parents fight. She was younger, and that's what it was like. I mean, she was like, at first she thought it was funny, and we was banter back and forth until she figured out we weren't joking, and we were having a full-blown fight about what to do with this. And then before you knew it, she was just like over there in absolute tears crying about it because, yes, we butt heads.
Yeah.
Because as anybody else, we don't always see things the same way. We have very different views on how things should be done, and we have very different views on what we see as important.
Yeah.
So, yes, it is a battle. It is a constant battle. Now you work with Jake, so you know too. But it is a constant battle, right? I mean, we don't see. So I think that the beauty of that is it's what makes us a good team, because what I deem as important is not necessarily what he deems as important. So both get covered.
Right.
So, I mean, the restaurant, customers are always important, right? Food quality, always important. Absolutely always going to be important. I mean, minus customers, you have no business. Minus food quality, you have no customers. So it all goes in together, but I'm a neat freak. And if you ever go into the backside of a restaurant, you will discover most people are not. I am a neat freak. Like the Yuba City Health Department lady, love her, brings people in to show them the inside of our restaurant because she wants people to know and understand this is how you run a restaurant. If I come in there and you can't lick the floors, I'm upset, and everybody's going to know it.
Yeah.
So whereas Jim will look at that and say that it shouldn't, I mean, obviously to a degree, but he'll say, you know, this isn't first priority. Well, it's always going to be first priority for me. People will come in and one of the reviews we get all the time is the bathroom is so clean. Absolutely it is.
Yeah.
Because that's a huge thing for me. If I walk into a restaurant and I look around the restaurant and it's dirty, I'm done. I'm not eating here if I walk in and the tables are dirty and the floors are dirty and the bathroom is dirty. If what you let me see is bad, in my humble opinion, what is in the back room is exponentially worse than what you've allowed me to see. So my restaurant is spotless at all times because that's my biggest pet peeve. Yeah. Whereas if it were him, he'd let it look like a bomb goes off because he doesn't care. For him, it's about the quality of food that's coming out, that the customers are getting serviced. I mean, he'll walk by and I'll say, "Did you see that? See what?" No.
Yeah, but it's like you said, like what would a clean restaurant do if you don't have the food?
Exactly.
So it's like you guys work so well together. I mean, I see it. You have a dynamic that works. Your family works with you.
Yes.
Now, is it because you and Jim had been together so long that you're able to do this, or do you think it would have been just as easy starting off your relationship this way?
Okay, so now you're digging deep.
Oh, yeah.
So, Jim and I met in the electronics industry. He was in field sales and I was inside sales. We hated each other. Like, I almost quit a very good job because he was such a jerk.
Really?
Yeah. Literally went to management and said, yeah, this isn't working out for me, so you need to figure out something new because I am not working with him. So they made us go to lunch and work out our differences. Yeah. Had lunch together, had to sit down and discuss how to make it happen. And it took us a while because we are different and we're both very opinionated and very headstrong people.
And very passionate.
And very passionate people, very passionate. And I am very good at my job.
Yeah.
And you ask Jim and he'll tell you the same thing, that he is very good at his job. I take it very seriously. Anything
He'll also say you're very good at your job too. He does.
I don't do anything halfway. No. I'm all in, and so is he. So that is and very competitive. I want to be the best of the best at everything. I don't care what we're doing. I mean, it can be a staring contest for all I care. We can be drinking water. Whatever it is, if this is going to be a competition, I want to be the best.
If you're drinking water, you're the one drowning.
Exactly. And he's the same way. So when we started, no, we did not like each other. It took us probably a year to get on the same page. and be able to have a working relationship.
Wow.
So that's where we started at. So the people that know us, that have known us our entire lives, laugh because no, not all, working together, we didn't even like each other, so how are we going to work together? So I do think that dynamic factors in, and I think it factors in, I mean, for us, it's every part of our relationship.
Right.
It's not just work, it's home, it's everything.
Yeah.
Because it's how we started, right?
Yeah.
And it complements. It's always that back and forth, and keeps that, it keeps the rest, it keeps everything we do fresh.
Yeah.
Because I say black, he says white. So then you have to find that common ground. And maybe I have a good idea that he never thought of, or vice versa. Because you get, as you know, you get tunnel vision. I run my business, this is how I run my business. So to have somebody say, wait a second, maybe that's not how you should, maybe you should look at this, maybe you should do this, is nice sometimes, just a different perspective.
At first you might go, oh, that's irritating because I already had a plan. I know what I'm doing.
Exactly.
And then you take a step back and you're like, dang.
Wait a second.
I should have thought of that.
That's not the worst idea I've ever heard of. You want to what?
Maybe I can give you credit for that one.
Yeah. So it's always entertaining though. It's never a dull moment with that dynamic. And I get people all the time that say, oh, I don't know how I could never work with my husband. I don't understand that. You're going to have to retire with him eventually one day. So I can never be with my husband 24/7. Well, if you plan on staying married,
you might want to think about that.
You might want to think about that because it's kind of a problem. Because seriously though, if you can't be with this person 24/7 and enjoy them, that's kind of concerning.
Well, and that I think actually does go to the point of you two working together. You have a vision. You have a shared vision. And so if you have a shared vision, then you can always go back to that as the basis is like, hey, this is what we're working towards, and we know it's going to be hard, and we know we're going to have really stressful moments.
Yes.
And we're going to butt heads, and we don't always think alike, right?
No.
But at the flip side, if you can stick it out and keep the communication lines open and continue to share the vision, then you're in it for the long haul. And like you said, you're going to retire with this man. You two are going to be in it till the end.
Yes, this is happily ever after, so you better.
This is it, yep. So have there been moments along the way where you're like, I am done. This is it. I'm quitting. I'm shutting down the restaurant. I'm shutting down the quilt show. I'm selling my last long arm.
Every single day, right?
Every day.
Every single day. So people ask, what is it like to own your own business? It's stressful. It's horrible. Yeah. It's the worst decision you'll ever make, and yet it's the best decision. I mean, you never know where your paycheck's coming from, right? What if I have a bad month? What if I can't this? What if I can't that? It's horrible. I mean, what do I miss about the electronics industry? A paycheck. Healthcare.
That regular.
Right? You know,
every
401k, healthcare, pay money. I mean, everything that comes with an actual job is what you paid vacation.
So if your bank accounts were just padded, unlimited money, but would you still want to like go and do and work every day? Like even if you didn't need the money?
I would, yes. I would. Because you know what? I would. Because maybe not the same. Maybe I wouldn't have the same business, but it's one of the things that Jim and I, what if you ever won the lottery?
Right.
And you had an unlimited amount of money? I would rent a doggy daycare. Right? What I do? I got a million plans for that too.
Go walk some puppies.
Exactly, because who doesn't want to play with dogs, right? I mean, you know, I mean.
You don't see yourself going, hey, if I had unlimited funds, I'm going to take this empire and grow it and have multiple locations and
so the idea
is,
yes, the idea with the Wing Zone is multiple locations. Business it didn't take off as quickly as we thought it would. So slower economy, slower business makes it a little harder. But yeah, the inevitable goal is multiple locations.
Okay. So have you seen struggles specifically within owning a franchise versus doing things on your own? I know you said there's this nice thing about where they have all the processes in place, but like what's the downside? What's the major downside?
So I think that they have all the processes in place. I mean, for as good as it is, it's as bad too, right? I mean, if you are somebody that, if you want that creativity, if you want the ability to do something different, then you don't have that. If you have the only reason we have so much flexibility in our franchise is because it's small and they're very uninvolved. I wouldn't have that if we were McDonald's. Right. McDonald's would never tolerate the stuff that we do. They just wouldn't, it wouldn't be okay.
Yeah.
So the structure is nice sometimes for some things, but then it's not, because it doesn't always afford you the ability, and I don't always agree with it.
Yeah.
And we, like I said, we do things that, like, I make ranch and blue teas. I make them fresh. We don't buy bottled. We make it fresh in house. We are the only restaurant, we are the only part of the franchise that does.
Okay.
Because I refuse to serve something that you can buy at Walmart in a jar.
Right.
I mean, you're coming there for fresh, good food. I want
Right.
it to be fresh, good food.
Yeah.
So if we were a big franchise, they wouldn't allow that. If that's the way they do it, that's the way they do it. There's no room for changing that. So, so that's part of the downside. We don't get the marketing, because we're smaller, we don't get the marketing
Okay.
that we would if we were a bigger franchise, so that's kind of a bummer. I find that the smaller franchise, we do a lot more on our own than we would if we were a bigger franchise.
So it's almost like a hybrid in a way. It's like
Yes.
you're having to do a little bit of the same things you would be doing if you were just strictly running this business on your own, but you're also following the protocols and the rules that the franchise has set for you to follow, for the most part.
Yeah, for the most part, unless I find something better. I mean,
So along the way, how do you and Jim balance family life? I mean, you have each other. You guys, you're open 7 days a week.
We are open 7 days a week.
You have kids. You have two grandkids. So where do you find time? How do you find time?
So you asked about owning your own business, the pros and cons of owning your own business. I have as much spare time as I want owning my own business, with the exception of the fact that I work 7 days a week, 14 hours a day. As you know, right?
I mean, I there every time I go in there. That's why I'm asking you this.
So you can, I can take as much time off as I want, but time is money. So if I'm not there, I have to pay somebody to be there for both businesses. So you try to find that balance. I mean, we do family dinner. I make sure that we get together a couple times a month at least and do family dinner. It used to be every Tuesday, but that doesn't always work out. But you try, right? You have to make that balance, and you make sacrifices. I mean, Jim's a duck hunter, as you know. He hunted as much as he wants during duck season. So you try to make up for that maybe in March and April. So you try to balance that out, and it's what works for you, and you have to make an effort to do that, and you have to make an effort with your family and in your marriage. I mean, we are together 24/7, but you don't want that 24/7 to always be business.
Right.
You don't want it to always be what's happening at work, what's going on at the so-so shop, what are we doing next at Wing Zone, what are we doing here, what are we doing there, because that just becomes a working relationship. And same with the kids. I mean, the kids are involved in the business as well. You don't want it to always be, when we get together and we do family dinner, we don't talk Wing Zone.
Right.
I don't want to get together and talk work, because the ones that aren't involved don't want to hear it, and I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
So you try to make sure that you keep all of that and still find time for yourself and time to do what you need to do, and it's not always easy.
Well, for people that don't know Jim, he is a big teddy bear.
Yes.
He's just
Jim's
this giant teddy bear.
He's larger than life personality, probably one of the most down to earth, misunderstood. Jim's like he's like the ultimate man's man, but not really.
Yeah.
So misjudge his character, because you look at him and there's a definite opinion that comes to Jim.
He is a little scary looking.
Yes.
He is, until he starts talking to you and smiling, and you realize, this guy is just a big giant teddy bear. And he's very unfiltered.
Yes.
Which I enjoy that with people. I do. It's like, if you feel like you have to walk on eggshells around me,
always honesty.
Yeah, I like that. And I like that Jim is able to say, even if he's really direct, and he can say it in his own way, and it doesn't offend me in any way, because I'm like, I feel like I know him.
So good at that.
Just because he's like that, you feel like you know him real quick, once you start talking. So, and then you're always more of the reserved one.
Yeah, I'm always in the shadows.
Yeah.
Because he's larger than life. So it's kind of hard how do you stand out in front of someone that's 6'5"?
Yeah.
I mean, he's huge all the way around, personality and stature. So how do you stand out? So yeah, I'm definitely, which has been our whole role in life. He is the front person, and I am the behind the scenes that gets everything done kind of person. And that's really kind of who we are in our relationship. It's who we are at home. It's who we are at work. It's who we are everywhere.
Yeah.
Because I am very quiet and reserved until you get to know me.
Yeah.
And then, then me, I'm I'm opinionated. I'm obnoxious. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you're an open book too, and you will tell people exactly how you feel. You'll tell people, this is what's been going wrong. This is what's been going
Absolutely.
right. This is where I can use help. This is how I've helped. Like, you're just very like, this is it. This is matter of fact. And I think that that's really important when you're running a business and in relationships and everything, because how else would we know?
And you get, as you know, as a business owner, I get a ton of people that come to me about business that will come to me and say, for either business, that the quilt store with the long arms, all of that stuff I can't tell you how many people I've had come to me and ask me about owning a quilt store, owning the long arms, running a long arm business, and they'll ask questions about it. And I will tell you, when we first started with that, the answers that we got were very, it was very much what you wanted to hear. What do you think of running a quilt store? Oh my gosh, best thing ever. I just love it. Like, all you do is quilt all day long, right?
Yeah.
So I'm very unfiltered and very real about that. We get people that come in with the restaurant that are like, what is it like to run your own business? What is it like to run a restaurant? Well, let me tell you, because I feel like you should know. I mean, you go, like when we did with the franchise, when you sit down and you start talking to them, they sell you sunshine and roses. That's going to be the best thing ever. But that's not what it is. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. So if someone comes to me and they ask me about it, I answer honestly. And is it what you want to hear? Probably not most of the time. Is it funny and unfiltered? Absolutely. Because I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. I mean, and it's a lot.
What is one of the hardest things that you have learned about our community?
Community support is a big deal, and it's hard. It's hard to break into that because there is a definite. So in this industry, there are some of us that get a ton of community support. That are in the food industry. There are some that are loved local restaurants that everybody knows their name and they are packed all the time, and then there's some of us that are not. And how you break through and how you become a part of that is part of the recipe that I have not figured out yet, and it is very difficult. You try all kinds of different marketing, you try all kinds of different sponsorships, you try all kinds of different stuff, and we have done, you name it, we have tried it. That is very difficult. How do you get your name out there? How do you get people to understand? I mean, like I said, I had some guy come in today that was talking to me that told me that he's never bothered to eat there because he doesn't eat at any place that's not locally owned. Literally half a mile away. Couldn't be more locally owned than that. But how do you get that out? How do you get to be part of that community? How do you get that community to know and understand that you're there and want to be part of that? Very difficult, the hardest part of the business. I mean, if somebody had that key, they could make any business out there successful. So there's twofold on that. It's associated with a franchise, and it's not associated with the big franchise, because the bigger franchise you will wait in line for. As you know, certain restaurants in town, right? I mean, you have certain big franchises in town that every time you go by them, the line to the drive-thru's in the street.
Right.
I mean,
kind of goes back to the support you were saying with the bigger franchises and the marketing support and all of that they get. So there's that. Have you ever gone to In-N-Out Burger that there isn't a line a mile long? I mean, let's 2 a.m. Right? So, I mean, people, and no disrespect, I love In-N-Out Burger, eat there myself. But, In-N-Out Burger, you've got these big franchises in town. I mean, Raising Cane's coming in was really hard for us. We compete directly. I mean, we have tenders. I personally think my tenders are better than theirs, but we compete directly with that. That's hard. I mean, how do you get around that? How do you get people, because you know that name? So you want to go there. You want to go to In-N-Out Burger because you know that name. That's like a Taco Bell or McDonald's. So first you have to fight that. And then there's that you are a franchise as opposed to locally owned. So you fight that. So we basically have it on both sides, and it's very difficult to get past that, because whereas your mom and pop restaurant, the reason you want to support mom and pop is because they're a part of the community and they support the community. Whereas the bigger restaurants, they're a part of the community, but they don't necessarily support the community. We are in that mom and pop that's supporting the community. So how do you get that where people understand, right? I mean, we're part of that community. We are here. We are supporting the community. We're not a big name restaurant. I mean, for instance, I called one of the school districts to see about doing one of the fundraiser nights.
and they didn't want us to do the fundraiser night because we weren't a big enough franchise for them to want to do the fundraiser. They didn't feel like we had the name brand recognition. Well, the name brand recognition is what you're bringing. I mean, let's be honest, right? It's the school district, it's the money, it's your advertising that is going to bring the customers in. It's you getting the word out. It's not us, because we're giving you the money. And their commentary was that we were too small to be involved in that, so they didn't want to use us. But the flip side to that argument is you use the big franchises to do that. And what happens is you're so happy that they're giving back 25% of what you spend to the school district. But they're telling you you have to spend money there for that money to be donated back. Whereas your mom and pop restaurants, we're the one that supports your T-ball team. And so we're giving money freely. So wouldn't you want to support that? And that's where we struggle, because there's that line that I don't know how to get past. And I don't know what we do to do that.
Yeah, because I know, I mean, I've been to several events, and I do see that Wing Zone is a big supporter, that you are always donating gift cards, baskets, and things like that. So are you seeing that the output that you're giving is coming back to you?
Am I supposed to answer that honestly? No. Not in the way, no.
No.
Marketing's a tough, I mean, you know, marketing's a tough business, right? I mean, you have to find that, where's that sweet spot? Where's that good area? I mean, who do you do, where does that marketing money go? I mean, we did a sign at the high school that if you came in and showed your student ID, you'd get this discount. Do you know we did not get one student in? So how is that? I mean, so you literally spent all this money to be on the football field, and not one person came in and said they saw you on the football field. So how do you, right? So how do you know? I mean, where do you put that money? What do you do with it? Where does it go? And how do you spend it? I mean, that's the secret sauce.
That is the secret sauce.
It really is, right?
And it's hard, because when you first start off, you have zero trust. There's zero trust in the community. You just have a brand new business. Nobody knows a thing about you. But if you put some marketing into branding campaigns, and that's where you're doing like the football fields, movie theater, those types of campaigns, they're not going to be direct. It's just you're trying to get your name out there.
Yes.
And then when someone sees an ad, like a direct ad or a social post or something of that nature, then it kind of all triggers everything. Like I've seen them here, subliminally. It's not something that you're actually thinking through. It's just in your brain, you know that this is a trusted brand because of all these years that this brand has been in front of your face. And that's how it works, but it takes so much time for the branding to pay off. And that's why a lot of people go with the direct in the beginning, is because they're like paying per lead, per click, and they're getting that customer in the door, but they're paying that customer acquisition cost. The branding, you are paying a customer acquisition cost, but it's probably over time lower, because branding campaigns are typically less expensive than direct.
Yes.
It's very, very complicated. But I would hope that the community would come back and support you. Those that you've supported would come back and support you, whether it be the organizer or those that are picking up the gift baskets and things like that. So I hope that you're at least seeing that kind of reciprocation within the community.
I will say the best the best place that we get our advertising from is the one place that I don't spend any money, and that is the customer that comes in that loves their food, that goes and tells everybody. The random person that comes in and posts it on Facebook. The random person that comes in and loves it and puts it on Instagram. That we get more. It's crazy. Like I said, I had some guys come in today that were like, oh yeah, I run this business, and we had all these customers that came in that said it was great. So here we are today. I had more people come in today on that than coupons that we send out. So who knows? I mean, like I said, if you figure that out, you will be a millionaire, because you will have the best marketing company in the world if you can figure out what that is to get that random customer in.
It's literally just like a ton of different things that have to all come together for it to work.
And you think you have the best idea ever? Never.
And 4 people see it.
Yeah, that's always the one that doesn't work. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to do this. This is going to be a hit. I've got the best idea ever. No, I'm telling you right now.
Nope.
Never, ever, ever. Doesn't matter the amount of money you throw at it. It doesn't matter. It's going to be the worst one. Never going to happen.
Your dog's idea is better than
right?
yours.
Yeah.
Exactly. And random stuff, like we wrap the truck with the Wing Zone logo. I get more people that are like, oh, I saw your truck. So I tell my husband every time you're in it, and he gets his little road rage. I'm like, you better knock it off. Yeah. So he loves to drive the car now. I mean,
Yeah, no kidding.
Exactly. That doesn't say anything on it, so he's safe in the car. But yeah, but that, right? I mean, who would have thought? Cheapest thing we ever did.
Yeah.
And I get more people that say, oh my gosh, I saw your truck parked there. Really? Well, that's nice. I mean,
Hey, it's working. It's gonna
so
keep
all
working
those
for you.
mailers we sent out, you didn't see any of those? I don't know.
Well, Nikki, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I
Yes.
think it's been just so much fun to get to know you a little bit more and to, hear a little bit about your journey, what you guys have going on. And I really appreciate you coming on. And I know this was something that was uncomfortable for you. You're not the person
Yes,
that
this
goes
is
on
not me.
podcasts. Is there anything else you would want to say or talk about before we end it?
I mean, obviously we're passionate about our restaurant. I think we serve great food. I think come on in and give us a try. I mean, give us a try, because we spend a lot of time and a lot of passion in what we do.
Yeah.
And we are very, I mean, even if our employees, we are very, we're very selective about who hires and who works there, and because we want everybody to come in and have a good experience. We want you to walk out and I think the food is excellent and the customer service is excellent.
Well, every
Very
time I go
important
there,
to us.
every time I go there, I walk out feeling that way. Like I said, my family, my kids, we all love your food. we are there at least a couple times a month, and I would be there more if I wasn't having to eat at all the other places in town too.
I know.
Sorry,
You guys. Yeah. It's like every day. Where are they now?
If you only knew. I'm like, yeah, I need
Who's
to
who
chill.
in the food zoo? You need to start doing the online TikTok stuff for the food reviews.
I should do that.
You really should. I mean, those are crazy.
TikTok's where it's at. It's like, it's so hard to get into TikTok. I'm too old for it.
That's not
but
my
I need
thing.
to do
I gotta
it.
be honest. But apparently watching some random person eat French fries on there is just great for business. Who
I
knew?
guess so. All right. Well, it was so
It's
good
so
to have
nice
you.
to have you. Thank
High
you.
five. All right.
Thank you so much for watching Nikki and today's podcast. If you have not tried Wing Zone, I definitely recommend it. And if you want to see more podcasts like this one, check out our Spotify channel for full episodes.